you in youth. SOAR, Seniors on Air, here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
To listen to music that uplifts the soul, follow Jescom PH on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. Our music is also available on iTunes and Deezer.
Okay guys, recording na. And 1, 2, 3, and...
Music that's just right. Music that's blue and white. Songs from our university's own on Blue Brew. On the voice of the Blue Eagle, Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Baka naman pwede.
Baka naman pwede?
Baka naman pwede.
Mga isyung napapanahon, ating pag-usapan.
Baka naman pwede.
Gamit ang mga pananaw mula sa iba't ibang kalinangan.
Baka naman pwede.
Mula sa Institute of Philippine Culture, kami inyong samahan, tayo'y maghuntahan. Dito lang sa
Baka naman pwede.
Tuwing Huwebes, alas 3 ng hapon, dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
This is Radio Katipunan 87.9 FM, the voice of the Blue Eagle.
Magbati po mga Katipuneros. This is Cardinal Chito Tagle. Join me every week on the Word Exposed on Air, here on the voice of the Blue Eagle, Radio Katipunan 87.9 FM, the Ateneo Campus Radio.
The voice of the Blue Eagle, Radyo Katipunan 87.9. Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Listen to songs and artists you didn't know you'd like. This is the Indie List on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Lamig, init, ulan, hangin, kumakalingang kalikasan. Ating alagaan at ingatan. Kumusta na ang ating kalikasan? Pag-usapan natin ang kalagayan ng mundo at kung paano tayo makatutulong sa pagkalinga sa ating tahanan. Kasama sina Father J.M. Manzano ng Kapisanan ni Jesus at si Dr. Abercio V. Roton. Ito ang Tatak Kalikasan sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan.
It's time for The Music Class. Join us for an evening of learning music and appreciating the art behind every hum, tune, and beat. Listen to engaging performances and insights from some of the top and upcoming musicians in the scene today. Tune in every Tuesday evening here on The Music Class. Let the music class begin.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, radyo.
It's time for The Music.
Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay at tenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugod, todo sa kayod, dunong at tulog. Lipat na Blue Eagle, kaning giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
It's time for The Music Class. Join us for an evening of learning music and appreciating the art behind every hum, tune, and beat. Listen to engaging performances and insights from some of the top and upcoming musicians in the scene today. Tune in every Tuesday evening here on The Music Class. Let the music class begin.
Vidmung is a song composed by Robert Schumann, Opus 25, and his good friend Franz Liszt, wrote the piano transcription. Well, in this particular Vidmung, you will notice at the end of the piece is the Ave Maria, which was supposedly a favorite of Clara, Robert's wife, and often heard at weddings. Robert Schumann wrote this piece in 1840 during his year of song and wrote it along with the rest of Opus 25 for his beloved Clara as a wedding gift. And the text is by poet Friedrich Ruckert. Isang mapagpalang gabi po sa inyong lahat and welcome to the music class. This is your only music education class live on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. And we are also live on YouTube and also at the Ateneo de Manila University Facebook page. Tonight's program is a special one because we have guests from the West Coast or Los Angeles, California. Well, just like the piece that you just heard, which was composed by, well, the composer is Schumann, arranged by Liszt, and using Schubert's Ave Maria, we have with us an arranger who has been arranging for the Filipino-American Symphony Orchestra, Louie Ramos, also an Ateneo alumnus, and together with him is Maestro Robert Shroder, conductor of FASO, and also a known flutist when he was here in the Philippines, but for the past how many years has been conducting the Filipino-American Symphony Orchestra. Good evening, Tito Bob and Tito Louie, and welcome to the music class here on Radyo Katipunan. Kamusta po kayo?
Mabuti naman. Good morning, John. Thanks for having us. Magandang umaga or magandang gabi sa lahat ng ating mga viewers and listeners.
Magandang gabi. Thanks for having me and Bob.
Okay. Ilang taon na po kayong, hindi age ninyo ilang taon na po kayong working together as a team? You've been arranging for FASO. Tito Bob has been conducting.
Yeah, I met Louie 16 years ago, so it's been 16 years, and that's what the year when we first started FASO. A few months after we started FASO, and then I met Louie, and since then we've been working together. And Louie now is our president. He's the president of the board of FASO.
Oh, congratulations po.
Thank you.
How did you meet, Tito Louie?
We met like just like your music. Go ahead, Louie.
Yeah, magandang kwento yan. So I met Bob at a wedding gig. So my wife was invited to sing at that wedding, and then Bob was one of the musicians, and that's where we met. So after the wedding, I approached Bob and introduced myself. And at that time, I just finished my arranging classes from Berkeley, and so I was asking him if there were any opportunities to work with FASO.
Yeah. So that couple who got married, also celebrating their 16th years now. 16 years wedding anniversary.
And you just said yes. Napaka no. Basta Filipino. And you said, oh, I have arrangements. I have like this. Tapos, oh sige, let's try it for our orchestra, di ba? Wala nang audition, Tito Bob, no?
Yung maganda kasi if you're an arranger, kasi maraming arrangers, they arrange, pero walang lab hindi nila naririnig yung arrangement, di ba? Mm-hmm. Ang magandang nangyari noon when you and I met together, so kapag-areglo siya and then nare-rehearse agad namin, naririnig niya, na-fix, he can continue to improve and do all the good stuff with his orchestration.
Tito Louie, you mentioned Berkeley, pero nasabi ko kasi kanina, no, I know you studied a grade school at the Ateneo, then went to UP, and then took your master's degree also in UP or here? Ateneo.
In Ateneo. I took my master's in Ateneo.
But it wasn't music related. So parang bakit po kayo biglang nag-aral sa Berkeley?
Yeah, alam mo, so I took my master's degree from Ateneo, and then it was in computer science. I was actually the first batch sa master's program. And I was really preparing for a career in computer science. So when I went to the States, it was to pursue a doctoral degree in computer science. Pero my true love and passion was music, the whole time. Since grade school pa yon. So while I was pursuing my graduate degree, I started taking online classes at Berkeley. To improve my skills in music and in arrangement.
Okay. Well, mapapakinggan po natin mamaya ang mga arrangements ni Tito Louie. But in the meantime, let's also try to figure out, paano ba naging conductor si Maestro Robert Shroder, no? Una sa lahat, pakinggan natin kung saan siya nagsimula. Ito ay isang flute video playing sa Ugoy ng Duyan. It's a composition of national artist Lucio San Pedro and played on the flute by Robert Shroder. You just heard Bob Shroder on the flute playing sa Ugoy ng Duyan, composed by Maestro Lucio San Pedro, national artist for music, and I believe the lyrics was also written by another national artist, Levi Celerio. Okay. So, Tito Bob muna tayo, no? Tito Bob, paano ba kayo naging flutist? Do you come from a musical family?
Yes. My music experience, my exposure to music started when I was very young. I remember, when I was 2 years old, they said, when I was 18 months or 2 years old, I started to learn how to sing Bahay Kubo, very first song. And then when we have like stereo phonograph, I learned how to play vinyl records, LP. My favorite was the William Tell Overture when I was very young, maybe 3-4 years old. And then my grandfather, I spent most of my childhood in the province, in Cavite. My mother's from Cavite. And my grandfather was the leader of the local band. He was the conductor. He was also a member, still an active member of the Philippine Constabulary Band at that time. And my mother, she was a cantor at the church, the local church. So my grandfather, he will take me through the rehearsals and performances of the PC band when I was about 6, 7. And I will never forget the first professional conductor I met was Colonel Antonino Benaventura. Mm-hmm. And I was seated, my grandfather would just sit there on the side and watch the rehearsal. But I was so amazed, and I was not, where yet. I'm just enjoying listening, but maybe my subconscious. I'm so amazed when Colonel Benaventura was there. It's like putting together the puzzle, cleaning up the musicians, doing the rehearsals, and telling all the details and all that. And then time flies, so I learned how to play. My first instrument was clarinet, really. So, and then when I learned the clarinet, I was able to join my grandfather's band. And then during high school, like dance music, Earth, Wind and Fire, Chicago was very popular. So I joined the dance band. So I switched to saxophone. And then not until college, I went to business school first before I went to UP for my music. And then after that, and then I decided, because when I finished business, I'm still playing. I'm not working in any, corporate offices. So I decided, I would like to take music. So that's when I enrolled in UP. So I already know how to play clarinet and saxophone. So I would like something new. So the nearest thing, because my goal back then is I would like to be a member of the Symphony Orchestra. So I switched to flute. So I approached my professor, Eric Barcelo. So that was the start of it. And then when I took my course was teacher's diploma. During my time, it was teacher's diploma. Then became DCPMA, right? Mm-hmm. And then after that, right after, I was preparing my graduation recital, UP. And then at the same time, I auditioned. Well, first, before that, I joined NAMSHA, and then I won, first prize at NAMSHA, and then I was preparing for my recital. At the same time, I auditioned with the Manila Symphony Orchestra, so I was able to get the first seat in the Manila Symphony Orchestra. But, before Manila Symphony, back to UP days, my first orchestra in UP is the Philippine Youth Orchestra. Mm-hmm. So the same thing, when I was with PYO, so second influence, of course, my grandfather was a conductor too, but Professor Sergio Esmilia, I noticed him how meticulous he was, like teaching us even intonation, all the chamber music related way of playing. He was very, very meticulous with that. So that I find it very, very interesting. So that's more interesting to me than to play in PYO with PYO. So I enrolled in conducting classes with Professor Leopoldo Lopez, the late Leopoldo Lopez, and the late Ray Paggio. And then I continued learning conducting with Maestro Lopez. And then
wasn't he a French horn player, Paul de Lopez?
Yes. He was our principal French horn player with the Manila Symphony Orchestra.
But he also conducted. I didn't know that.
Yes, he was a conducting teacher. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So in UP, he was my professor in conducting. And then during the time when I was with the Manila Symphony Orchestra, so every time we have a guest conductor, I make sure that I attend their master class or their workshops. So I was influenced by some of the guest conductors with MSO. One of them is like Maestro Lorenzo Palomo from Spain, and then Christoph Poppen from Austria, and of course Miss Helen Kwa, who was at that time always conducting in the Philippines. So that's my background in conducting, and then I migrated here in the U.S. So when I migrated in the U.S., this was like 16. Faso is 16 years old now, so 7 years before. So it's like 23 years. 23 years. I was commissioned to conduct a youth orchestra, the Boyle Heights Youth Orchestra. The Entertainment Industry Foundation in Hollywood put together a funding to put together a youth orchestra in Boyle Heights. Boyle Heights is the underserved community in Los Angeles. Because they want their kids to learn music so they won't get influenced by, street drugs and all that kind of stuff. So I was playing the church, and then the president of the board of the Boyle Heights approached me and asked me if I know somebody who was experienced with handling youth orchestra. And I told him that I was a member of a youth orchestra. Maybe I can handle that. So he interviewed me. So that was the start. I didn't know that 7 years prior to FASO was my prep to FASO. So I started conducting. I started teaching. So I got pumped up. I got so excited. So I used all the knowledge that I learned from Ms. Milla, from all the conductors, chamber music, all the kind of stuff. So, and the next thing I know, we started FASO. So.
Who recruited you? Who recruited you to be FASO's conductor?
Okay, first I was there was only like 7 or 9 of us to begin with. There's one business owner here in LA who would like to financially sponsor a Filipino orchestra. So I first asked, well, they need to be serious about it because I know we musicians are serious when it comes to music talk, right? We don't want the mga ningas kugon lang na puro umpisa lang. Kung seryoso sila, gusto namin seryosong usapan. Okay naman. And then your sister, Cecil, was one of the pioneer members.
Okay.
And then 7 other more from the Philippines. So meron kami 2 miyembro na dito na laki sa States when we first started. So yun, and then binigyan ko sila ng option. Gusto niyo ba na orchestra na monthly salaried, yung gano'n, parang LA Phil or parang iba yung mga major orchestras. Or you want like a community orchestra na everybody's welcome, pero mahirap i-control ang quality noon kasi lahat ng pwedeng sumali, di ba? O somewhat parang community orchestra, but we would like to audition the members para naman may quality, meron tayong control sa quality ng tugtugan, di ba? So we decided to do it that way. So that was the start. And then we started advertising sa mga local universities. We found out ang dami palang Pinoy na music majors. Diba? Half Pinoy, gano'n. And then, it creates a community. Pati hindi mga Pilipino sumasali. And of course, it's the diversity is one thing that we can be proud about, FASO. So right now, of course, maraming Filipino, may mga half Filipinos katulad ko. May mga ibang Asians, may ilang African-American, may 2 merong white Americans. Halo-halo. It's really a diverse orchestra. Pati yung ages ng members ng orchestra from high school students to a 75-year. Tagumpay de Leon, si Mang Pai.
Yes.
It's one of our bass players. So, kaya maganda. It's so diverse, ages, lahat, ethnicity. But it's driven by Filipinos. That's why we're the Filipino-American Symphony Orchestra.
Okay.
So that's the brief summary of my conducting history.
Okay. Also, bago po natin pakinggan ulit si Maestro Bob Shroder and FASO President and of course arranger Louie Ramos, let us listen to this arrangement of Louie Ramos. It's a medley of Filipino lullabies from different regions of the Philippines. So again, you will hear Sa Ugoy ng Duyan. This was played a while ago on the flute, but this time with the orchestra and some soloists as well. Bicol, a folk song, Katurog na Nonoy, Visayas, Ili Ili. So this is conducted, of course, by Robert Shroder, our guest, and arranged by Louie Ramos, also our guest for tonight. These songs are very near and dear to our heart. We heard our mothers sing this to us, and we pass it down to our children as we sing it to them. What an inspiring performance. Grabe. This is at the Walt Disney Hall, and this was actually last August. Well, this was in 2019, August 3 at the Walt Disney Concert Hall. And you can see there's a choreography also done by Clem Villavert and vocal coaching by Alexander Legaspi. And the performers are from FASO's education program. But before we talk about that, I want to ask Tito Louie first, no? Kasi Tito Louie, grade school, kinder ba? From kinder then grade 1 in Ateneo?
From prep to grade 7.
Prep to grade 7.
Yeah.
Do you remember your music teachers during that?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So my roots in music really started at the Ateneo. You know, it's homage to my music teacher, si Mr. Carlos Valencia, and especially si Mr. Godofredo Areza.
Oh,
so they've been teachers there for the longest time. So a lot of Ateneans went through them.
Hanggang ngayon po, asan na po sila?
Unfortunately, they passed away
Both
a
of
few
them?
years ago. Yeah.
Okay. And were you a member of the choir, or did you have any?
Yeah, I was a member. Si Mr. Areza started a rondalia. It was called Kalatog Pukpok.
Okay.
And it was a unique rondalia. It did not use the typical rondalia instruments. It used, homemade instruments, xylophone, yung mga bote na nilagyan ng tubig.
Wow.
Tapos, depende sa dami ng tubig, nag-iiba yung pitch.
Okay.
So, ang instrumento ko yon yung bote, pinupukpok.
And alam niyo po, I'm sure napapakinggan to, no? Kasi this is all over the Ateneo page. And then, we have, hindi ko lang alam kung may kalatog pukpok pa ngayon or even kung may rondalia pa sa grade school, no? Ang alam ko, ang grade school ngayon ay co-ed na, nagsisimula na. So, both girls and boys na. So, that's another different atmosphere na ngayon. Although, meron po tayong Blue Symphony dito sa college, sa Ateneo College. And I think friend din ni Tito Bob yun si anong pangalan ni tawag nila Tito Rodel.
Rodel Lorenzo.
Yes.
Yes,
so,
Rodel, yeah. Yes.
Maganda na matugtog din nila tong mga arrangements na to. And I'm just really wondering, the way you arrange, Tito Louie, kasi nakikita mo talaga yung orchestra eh. So, how do you do it? Do you do some revisions on the spot during rehearsals, or how is it done with orchestra?
Yeah, so it really comes down to the fundamentals. It's very important, the fundamentals of arranging and orchestration. And you have to be mindful of the different elements of an arrangement. So you have your main line, you have your counter lines, and then you have your harmonies and your progressions. And then you work on the different colors of the orchestra to create that image, that oral painting.
At siguro po, depende rin sa availability ng instruments ba? Kamusta po ang how are is it a complete orchestra now, FASO? Or do you have to hire, oboists or bassoonists?
Yes, it is complete.
Oh, okay.
So families are represented.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So whenever you arrange, I noticed? Well, later on we will hear at the end of this program a combination of the orchestra and youth, di ba? Parang youth orchestra. But now, so whenever you arrange, you have to consider that the timpani. You have to consider, the trombone, all of that.
Yeah, each instrument, each family has a function at any given time. Maybe one family is focused on the main line, maybe another family is focused on a counter line, and then you have the percussion that's doing highlights.
Do you get suggestions from the conductor or how do you collaborate when it comes to?
Yeah, my process with Bob has been, so I work on an arrangement, I give it to him, and then the orchestra reads it.
Okay.
And then after the orchestra reads it, every so often, Bob would make a comment, sasabihin niya, medyo manipis yung part na yon. So, I would go back and make improvements, based on the feedback from Bob. So it's very collaborative.
Nakailang arrangements na po kayo for the orchestra?
I lost count already.
So pag may mga Filipino orchestras ba dito sa Philippines, like kasi syempre sa US very particular sila sa mga dami, sa mga PF, sa honorarium and all, pero dito syempre talagang whatever resources we can have, would you be open to sharing your arrangements to our orchestras here, like PPO, MSO?
Yeah. If it's my arrangement, any orchestra is welcome to use.
Okay.
Just contact me.
Thank you. So for our viewers, there is a comment section either on YouTube or on the Radio Katipunan page or Ateneo page. So you can leave comments for Mr. Louie Ramos or Bob Shroder, and they can answer after the program. Okay? You can also watch the replay of this program anytime on YouTube or on Facebook, on the Facebook page of Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Now, let's
just say something real quick about arrangement. Just something really quick.
Sige po.
So I just wanted to point out na, it's called a medley, but actually the last two songs, there was a part where it was mashed up.
Yeah, parang may counterpoint nga, or ano bang tawag?
So yung pagpasok nung last song na Ili-Ili came in as a counterpoint. So nagkasabay sila doon sa Ugoy ng Duyan.
Okay. And
so,
how
I
did
hope you enjoy it.
Opo, really interesting kasi parang ano ba to, counter melody or counterpoint, pero when I was listening to it, sabi, oy, Ili-Ili pala yun, parang unti-unti siyang pumasok dun sa sa the other song. Really interesting. Now, I wanna bago tayo mawalan ng oras kasi I want to also acknowledge the names of the soloists. Micaela Bautista, Zach Luis Maravilla, Stacey Rayoma, and then you also have I guess this is the children's choir part of it, Sofia Cadorna, Bryce Gomez, Melia Marie Greer, Rian Martin, Kamea Miranda, Sam Morelos, and Amelia Rose Umali. Ano ba po itong FASOS education program? Tito Bob or Tito
Yes,
Louie?
they are part of the FASO education program. So we, aside from a junior orchestra, we also have a vocal program.
Oh, okay.
So we hold vocal workshops to help improve the vocal performance of our students, and we audition and have them perform with us in our concerts.
Okay. And where is how do they apply for this? Do they pay for this education program, or what's the process of becoming
so
part
the process
of it?
Once the schedule is out, then the students can register. It's an online registration. It's a very nominal fee, something like $5 or $10.
Okay.
And then they get to attend our workshop for our vocal program.
Okay. Tito Bob, paano po nung pandemic pala? Anong nangyari? Kasi I mean, si Tito Louie can arrange no, anytime. Pero kayo, I mean, you're a performer. So paano, 2 years yan? Or I mean...
Yeah, so nung pandemic, hindi namin alam kung anong gagawin namin. Meron kami dapat Walt Disney Concert Hall for summer, but everything is closed, right? So we were able to put together a couple of virtual concerts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nauso din pala sa US yan, yung virtual concerts.
Yes. So hala namin madali kasi record lang on their own houses. But the challenge was hindi lahat ng musicians pare-pareho yung equipment. Hindi lahat ng musicians merong soundproof room. Iba may reverberation, di ba? So some inputs, yung mga they have to redo it again, and we have to tell them, maybe record it inside the closet para may mga damit, para medyo dry yung tunog, walang echo, di ba? So all kinds of things. So, but we were able to do it successfully, but it's a lot of work. Maraming, para ka rin nag-produce ng live concert, yung editing, putting it together, and we have to hire a professional technician, sound engineer, to put together, and then the video and audio, put it together to a virtual concert. So we did one, and then the second one, I thought, Louie, I think it might be good to help some of the musicians in the Philippines. So we reached out sa mga student musicians. Ang qualification is you have to be a music student, enrolled music student. So we were able to audition and put together a 25-piece ensemble, wind ensemble from the Philippines. Iba galing taga-UP, taga-UST, iba sa provinces, members ng band sa provinces. So mga 25 piece ng mga bata. So kinumission namin na isang march yung Colossus of Columbia. So we sent them the scores, and then we met with them. Okay, instruction, just follow the dynamics. You have the dynamics there, just follow the dynamics and then record it. This is the timeline. And they were able to record. And so the same issue, lalo na sa mga bata sa probinsya, diba cellphone lang ang gamit. So what do you expect sa audio, diba? Ang daming editing na ginawa, merong inulit, But we were able to do it successfully. So we did it twice. And then, siyempre, walang budget, lahat. So, online donation, marami naman kaming na-solicit na donation through our virtual concerts.
Okay.
And then, we were very happy in 2022 nung nag-open na. So, tuloy na ulit ang ligaya. But, it was a struggle for everybody. And sad to say, we lost 3 musicians.
Oh, really?
During the pandemic. 3 of them died pandemic. Yeah, COVID, yeah.
Well, how do you sustain FASO now? FASO has been existing for, did you say 15 years?
16. We're
16,
now our 16th
no?
year.
You're on your 16th year. Si Tito Louie, presidente ng FASO, so he can answer that.
Yeah, it's always a challenge, keeping an orchestra na hindi you don't lose money. And I think the way that we're able to sustain is through fundraising campaigns, gala. Gala is always very helpful. We're able to infuse finances into the operations. Because, 16 years, maybe back when we started it, we could not imagine that we would survive this long. And now that we have, it's still the same challenges.
Yeah.
Yep. As we grow bigger, siyempre, ganun din yung challenges. But there are good challenges. When we have issues sometimes sa programming, ang daming exciting pieces, ang daming alam namin na magiging excited yung mga Pilipino, lalo na yung mga manonood. But we don't want our program to be very long. So good problem is anong piyesa ang ikakat natin sa program. Laging problema yung ganon. So but and music must go on, and this is a good thing. This is a good sabi nga, this is the food for the soul. So we cannot stop from delivering good music to our community, especially to the Filipino community and the locals here in the United States. Right now we're in Los Angeles, but good thing with with the media, with the social media, that we can deliver our stuff worldwide now. So not a lot of people can watch our concerts.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that kasi syempre Filipino-American Symphony Orchestra, but you're based in Los Angeles. But I know a lot of Filipino musicians who are based in like Chicago, New York, and in other parts of the U.S. Do you get to invite them as well to be part of your orchestra? No.
Almost every season we have either former members that went to. We have a couple of members who are now members of the United States Army Band. So one of them, Rommel, who was our original clarinet principal clarinetist. So he came down last year, summer concert, and then he played. Yeah. And then this year, last summer, you probably know Professor Chona Noble.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yes.
UP
She's now,
professor.
yes, she's now studying her second master of music pedagogy in Illinois, in the Illinois State University. So I invited her to come down for the summer concert. So she played with us last August 17th concert. So it's always like that. So everybody's welcome. That's why Filipinos, if you're coming West Coast or whatever in the United States, and if you're available, just reach out to us. We would like to invite you to play in one of our concerts. Especially now, all our music is PDF. We just send an email. Sometimes they come down to do like 1 or 2 rehearsals. We cannot just promise first year, because if we only would rehearse like 1 or 2 rehearsals, But the most important is to be able to join and to experience the FASO community here in the U.S.
Exactly. Well, before we run out of time, I've been wanting to ask this. Do you have any plans of touring here in the Philippines?
That's Louie's project. He will answer that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of my sort of my projects that I want to accomplish during my term, which is to be able to tour the Philippines. We're sort of planning it for 2026, so in 2 years.
Okay.
So we plan to bring our entire orchestra, and we also are going to bring our junior orchestra with us. We've already started talking to our contacts, our partners in the Philippines. So hopefully we can pull it off.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
And we are, calling if they're watching, or if you know some possible like business or staff who can help sponsor that tour to make it happen. And this is very important because we are the first and only Filipino-driven symphony orchestra outside the Philippines. So we've been in existence for 16 years. And so we would like to visit our own country to be able to present to our, fellow Filipinos in the Philippines. And please sponsor us, or maybe you can help arrange maybe airlines or hotel accommodations and all that. Anything, there's no little help. Every help really counts a lot because we would like to bring the entire household, including our educational program. Because this kid based in the U.S., this is our future. And it's good for them to learn and to see and to visit the Philippines on a cultural way, on a musical way, not only family. Because sometimes, family vacation, they go to other places. But this tour will just enrich their musical background, their musical knowledge, and how it is like to be a musician, a Filipino musician.
Well, I know si MVP. He's a big name here in the Ateneo, and he is not only a supporter of the basketball also a big supporter of orchestras. I mean, he even hires the Manila Symphony Orchestra, or sometimes brings the orchestra to Hong Kong or whatever. So hopefully he can be a supporter to FASO. And dito naman sa Ateneo, we have a new auditorium, Arete, no? Some of the Manila Symphony Orchestra's concerts are done here at this new theater. And maraming possibilities, and I really do hope by 2026. So because it's about time. Anyway, yes, sir. Yeah.
To say it in Tagalog, nananawagan po kami sa inyong lahat na tulungan kami para po matuloy yung tour ng FASO sa Pilipinas sa 2026.
Anyway, bago po tayo magtapos, baka mayroon pa kasi kayong final words, but I want to mention that this final piece, before I give my final spiel, is a combination. Yun yung sinasabi nila kanina. The FASO Youth String Ensemble performing Filipino folk songs with the Filipino-American Symphony Orchestra conducted by Robert Shroder. This is, again, an arrangement of orchestrated by Louie Ramos. The piece was composed by Nick Ramiro Pasis. And Erica De Los Santos is the soloist ba? Po, ganun, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the folk songs are well, Pamulinawen, Bakyamu Neneng, Atin Ko Pong Singsing. But before we listen to that final piece, would you do you have anything else you want to say to our viewers? Maybe invite them to your Christmas concert or.
Yeah. So
go ahead, Louie.
Sige
You
po.
go first.
yeah. So please continue to support our orchestra, the Filipino-American Symphony Orchestra. And it would be great for you to be able to see some of our performances. We have our channel on YouTube. Just look up Filipino-American Symphony Orchestra. Bob?
At ang amin pong website is fasomusic.org. So just check our website. You can send us an email, especially for musicians visiting the U.S. Reach out to us. Baka may concert na biglang perfect timing so you'll be able to join kahit isang concert. And then to our listeners and viewers and followers, maraming salamat po sa continuous support. Sa mga bagong susupport sa amin, please check us out. And sana po manatili yung suportahan ng PASO. Dahil kailangan po namin ng suporta at tulong ninyo para po tumagal at masalin po namin to sa iba't ibang generation ng mga batang darating pang taon. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po, Maestro Bob Shroder, the conductor of the Filipino-American Symphony Orchestra, and arranger Louie Ramos, who is also the president of FASO, the board of FASO. Maraming salamat po sa pagpapaunlak nyo dito sa aming so for really accepting our invitation to be interviewed. And in behalf of the music class, this is your host, Jonathan Arevalo or Prof Batanes. We're inviting you every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. That's our regular program for the music class. And we end tonight's program with an arrangement of a Filipino folk songs medley, the Filipino-American Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Robert Shroder at the Walt Disney Concert Hall. And this piece composed by Nick Ramiro Pasis and orchestrated by Louie Ramos. Good evening to all.
It's time for The Music Class. Join us for an evening of learning music and appreciating the art behind every hum, tune, and beat. Listen to engaging performances and insights from some of the top and upcoming musicians in the scene today. Tune in every Tuesday evening here on The Music Class.